Ladies and gentlemen, listen to me carefully, because this moment right here, this one is the one that can change everything for you. You see, life doesn't hand you anything. It doesn't gift you success, happiness, or greatness. It invites you to go after it, to fight for it, to work for it. The question is, are you ready to accept that invitation? Are you ready to stop sitting on the sidelines and start playing the game? Because let me tell you something, the clock is ticking and your time isn't unlimited. If you want to change your life, it's not going to come from wishing. It's not going to come from sitting around scrolling through other people's success stories saying, one day, that'll be me, one day isn't on the calendar. You've got to make a decision today, right now, that you're going to take control of your destiny. You have everything you need inside of you to succeed, but it's locked away, buried under fear, doubt, excuses, and the opinions of other people. Stop waiting for someone to give you permission. Stop waiting for the right time. There is no perfect moment, there's just this one right here, right now. Yes, it's going to be hard. Yes, it's going to be uncomfortable. And yes, you're going to fail along the way. But you know what? Failure is the tuition you pay for success. It's not the end, it's a stepping stone. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Push yourself beyond what you think you're capable of, because that's where the magic happens. Don't be afraid of working hard. Don't be afraid of the grind. Success isn't about luck, it's about preparation meeting opportunity. And when that opportunity comes knocking, you better be ready to open that door and step into your greatness. But let me tell you this, no one is coming to save you. No one is coming to motivate you every morning, to push you out of bed, to make you chase your dreams. That's your job. So stop blaming your circumstances. Stop blaming other people. Stop blaming your past. The past is a place of reference, not residence. It doesn't define you unless you let it. Every single day you have a choice to stay the same or a choice to be better. And every time you choose better, you take one step closer to the life you want. So what's it going to be? Are you going to keep making excuses, or are you going to make it happen? Here's the truth, you were not put on this earth to be average. You weren't born to live a life of mediocrity. There's greatness in you. Yes, you, the person listening to this right now. You are capable of extraordinary things, but you've got to believe it. You've got to want it. And most importantly, you've got to work for it. So what's stopping you? Fear? Doubt? The voice in your head telling you that you can't do it? Silence it. Drown it out with action, with perseverance, with determination. Because the only person standing between you and the life you want is the person you see in the mirror. You've got one shot at this life. One. Make it count. Fight for your dreams like your life depends on it, because it does. This is your moment. This is your time. Now go out there and change your life. The world is waiting for the greatness that only you can bring. Don't keep it waiting. Change begins with a decision. It might sound simple, but don't let that fool you. This single moment can transform your life in ways you can't even imagine. Everything starts with the power of choice. You see, so many people drift through life without ever truly choosing where they want to go. They live on autopilot, letting circumstances, other people, or even fear dictate their path. But not you. Not today. Because today is the day you decide to take control of your life. The thing about decisions is that they are not always loud or dramatic. Sometimes the most life-altering choices happen in the quiet moments when no one else is watching. It's that whisper in your heart that says, I want something different. I want something more. That whisper might have been there for a long time, but you've ignored it, drowned it out with distractions, or silenced it with self-doubt. But deep down, you know it's still there, waiting for you to listen. And here's the truth, that whisper is your potential. It's the part of you that knows you're capable of greatness, the part that's begging you to stop settling and start striving. When you make a decision to change your life, It doesn't mean you suddenly have all the answers. It doesn't mean the path will be clear or easy. What it means is that you're no longer willing to let life happen to you. You're ready to take charge, to steer your own ship, no matter how rough the seas might get. Because here's the thing, staying the same is a decision too. Every day you choose not to act, not to try, not to push for something better. You're choosing to remain where you are. And let's be honest, deep down, you know that's not where you want to be. Deciding to change your life isn't about perfection, it's about progress. It's not about waiting until you feel ready, because that day may never come. Readiness is a myth. What matters is your willingness to start where you are with what you have and to figure it out along the way. You don't need to see the whole staircase to take the first step. You just need to trust that the act of moving forward will reveal the next step. And then the next, until suddenly you realize how far you've come. It's easy to be afraid of making the wrong decision, of failing, or of looking foolish. But let me tell you something, indecision is far more dangerous than making a wrong choice. When you stand still, nothing changes. You're stuck, paralyzed by fear, while life moves on without you. But when you decide, even if it's messy, even if you make mistakes, you create momentum. Momentum builds confidence, and confidence fuels action. It's a cycle that starts with one decision. And the beautiful thing is, even if you stumble, you can always decide again. Every new day brings a new opportunity to choose. This is your life. Nobody else can make this decision for you. Not your parents, not your friends, not society. It's up to you. And that's a good thing because it means you have the power. You're not a victim of your circumstances, you're the architect of your future. Don't let fear, doubt, or past failures convince you otherwise. Those things only have power if you give it to them. Take that power back. Decide that your dreams are worth fighting for, that your happiness is worth prioritizing, and that your potential is worth unleashing. It's time to stop waiting. Stop waiting for the perfect moment, the right conditions, or someone else's approval. Stop waiting for life to hand you a sign. This is your sign. The fact that you're here reading this, feeling something stir inside you, that's your sign. Don't let it pass you by. Make the decision today to change your life. Because when you do, you'll realize that the power was always in your hands. You just needed to claim it. Action is the heartbeat of change. If you want your life to transform, you must replace excuses with action. Excuses may feel comforting in the moment, offering a temporary shield from responsibility, but they are chains that keep you bound to the same place. They whisper lies, telling you why it's okay to wait, why it's okay to postpone, why it's okay to do nothing today. But the truth is, every time you choose an excuse over action, you're not just standing still, you're moving further away from the life you want. Because life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It rewards those who act. Think about it for a moment. How many times have you convinced yourself that you'll start tomorrow? That you'll take that step when the timing is better, when the circumstances are perfect, when you're more prepared. But tomorrow comes and goes, and the excuses still find their way in. You tell yourself, I don't have enough time, enough money, enough experience. You convince yourself that other people have it easier, that they're more talented, more connected, more fortunate. These excuses might make you feel justified in doing nothing, but they are nothing more than lies you tell yourself to avoid discomfort. Discomfort is the price of progress. Change is never easy, it demands effort, courage, and sacrifice. But here's the good news, discomfort is temporary, and the rewards are worth it. Every time you push through the resistance and take action, no matter how small, you weaken the hold that excuses have over you. You prove to yourself that you are capable, that you are resilient, and that you are willing to do what it takes to create the life you desire. Action doesn't have to be monumental to matter. It's not about taking giant leaps, it's about taking consistent steps. Small actions repeated daily compound over time to create massive results. Whether it's waking up an hour earlier to work on your goals, making a single phone call that moves you closer to your dream, or simply saying no to something that doesn't serve your future. These actions add up. They build momentum. And momentum is the force that will carry you through even when motivation fades. Excuses, on the other hand, are rooted in fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of the unknown. They trick you into believing that playing it safe is better than taking a risk. But what's truly risky is staying in the same place, letting opportunities slip by because you were too afraid to try. Fear will always be there, but it's not meant to stop you. It's a signal that you're stepping into new territory, that you're growing. The only way to overcome fear is to face it head-on with action. When you act, even in the face of uncertainty, you take control of your story. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than your excuses, that you value your dreams enough to fight for them. Action builds confidence, and confidence fuels more action. It's a cycle of empowerment that starts with a single choice to do something today that your future self will thank you for. You don't need perfect conditions to act. In fact, waiting for perfection is one of the most destructive excuses of all. There will always be challenges, obstacles, and reasons to wait. But successful people don't wait for the stars to align, they move forward despite the chaos. They understand that action creates clarity. When you take the first step, you gain perspective. You learn, adapt, and grow. The path becomes clearer only when you start walking it. Life rewards those who show up. It doesn't matter if you're scared, unsure, or unprepared. What matters is that you show up and take action. Excuses may seem powerful, but they are powerless against the person who refuses to be held back. So take a deep breath, look fear in the face, and take that first step. You'll be amazed at what happens when you choose action over excuses. Failure is an inevitable part of life, but how you choose to see it can determine whether you stay stuck or rise to greatness. Failure is not a dead end, it's a stepping stone, a teacher, a necessary part of growth. Yet so many people are paralyzed by the fear of failing. They hesitate to take risks, to try something new, or to chase their dreams because they're afraid of making mistakes or looking foolish. But here's the truth: failure is not the opposite of success. It's a part of it. Every person who has achieved something extraordinary has faced failure, learned from it, and used it as fuel to keep going. When you fail, it's not a reflection of your worth, it's an opportunity to grow. Failure gives you feedback, a chance to see what works and what doesn't. It strips away illusions and teaches you lessons that success alone never could. It shows you where you need to improve, where you need to focus, and how much further you can go. The only way to truly fail is to stop trying, to let the fear of failure prevent you from taking action. As long as you're moving forward, even if you stumble, you're still in the game. Think about the stories of some of the world's most successful people. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times before perfecting the light bulb. J.K. Rowling was rejected by countless publishers before Harry Potter became a global phenomenon. Michael Jordan famously said, "I failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." These individuals didn't let failure define them, they let it shape them. They understood that each failure brought them one step closer to success. They didn't quit, and neither should you. Embracing failure means letting go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is a trap that keeps you from even starting. It convinces you that if you can't do something perfectly, it's not worth doing at all. But perfection isn't real, it's an illusion that stops progress. Success isn't about getting it right the first time, it's about persistence, about showing up again and again, even when things don't go as planned. It's about being willing to fall down and get back up, knowing that every fall is a chance to build resilience. Failure also builds character. It humbles you, reminds you that you're human, and strengthens your resolve. It forces you to dig deep and find the courage to keep going. When you overcome failure, you discover just how strong and capable you really are. You build grit, that unwavering determination that will carry you through the toughest challenges. And with each failure you conquer, your confidence grows. You start to realize that failure isn't something to be feared, it's something to be embraced. But embracing failure doesn't mean seeking it out for its own sake. It means understanding that failure is a natural part of pursuing anything worthwhile. It means being willing to take risks, to put yourself out there, to try new things, even when there's no guarantee of success. It means seeing failure as feedback, as a tool for growth, rather than a reason to quit. When you fail, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience to get better, to grow stronger, to move closer to my goals? The key to dealing with failure is perspective. If you see it as a roadblock, it will stop you in your tracks. But if you see it as a stepping stone, it becomes part of your journey, a necessary step toward achieving your dreams. It's not failure that defines you, it's how you respond to it. Do you let it defeat you, or do you let it refine you? Do you use it as an excuse to give up, or do you use it as motivation to push harder? Your failures are not final, they are formative. Each one is a chance to learn, to grow, to become better than you were before. So don't let the fear of failure keep you from chasing your dreams. Embrace it. Learn from it. Use it. Because failure is not the end of the story, it's the beginning of something greater. Believing in yourself is the foundation of every great achievement. Without self-belief, the best plans falter, the strongest strategies crumble, and the boldest dreams wither. Yet, so many people struggle with it. They let doubt creep in, telling themselves they're not good enough, not smart enough, not talented enough. They measure themselves against others, diminishing their own worth in the process. But here's the truth: if you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? Your confidence is the key to unlocking your potential. And it starts with a decision to see yourself not as you are, but as you could be. The journey to self-belief isn't about arrogance or thinking you're better than others. It's about recognizing your inherent value, the unique gifts you bring to the table, and your capacity to grow. Every person who has ever succeeded started with the same thing: belief in their ability to achieve something more. That belief didn't come from external validation or applause, it came from within. It came from a decision to trust themselves, to back themselves, even when the odds were against them. Self-belief doesn't mean you'll always feel confident. There will be moments of doubt, fear, and insecurity. That's normal. But self-belief is the ability to act in spite of those feelings. It's the quiet voice inside that says, I can do this, even when everything around you seems to suggest otherwise. It's not about knowing all the answers, it's about trusting that you'll figure them out as you go. It's about having faith in your ability to adapt, to learn, and to grow through challenges. Many people look for external validation to boost their confidence, waiting for someone to tell them they're good enough, smart enough, or talented enough. But external validation is fleeting. If you rely on it, your confidence will rise and fall with the opinions of others. True self-belief comes from within, from knowing that your worth isn't tied to other people's approval. It's about valuing yourself even when no one else is watching, even when no one else believes in you. It's about standing firm in the knowledge that you are enough as you are and capable of becoming even more. Building self-belief takes time and effort. It's not something that magically appears, it's something you cultivate. It starts with the stories you tell yourself. If you constantly tell yourself you're not good enough, you'll start to believe it. But if you choose to speak to yourself with kindness, encouragement, and positivity, you'll begin to build a foundation of self-confidence. The words you say to yourself matter. They shape your mindset, your actions, and ultimately your results. One of the most effective ways to build self-belief is through action. Confidence comes from doing, from proving to yourself that you're capable. Every small victory, every step forward, reinforces your belief in yourself. It's not about waiting until you feel confident to start. It's about starting and letting the confidence grow along the way. Take on challenges even when they scare you. Stretch yourself beyond your comfort zone. Each time you do, you'll discover strengths you didn't know you had. And with each discovery, your belief in yourself will deepen. Failure is another critical part of building self-belief. It's easy to believe in yourself when everything is going well. The real test comes when things fall apart. Can you still believe in your ability to rise again? Can you see failure not as a reflection of your worth, but as a stepping stone to success? Every time you get back up after a setback, you reinforce your resilience and strengthen your confidence. Self-belief isn't about never falling, it's about always getting back up. Surrounding yourself with the right people is also essential. Negative, critical voices can erode your self-belief, while supportive, encouraging ones can help it flourish. Choose to be around people who see your potential, who push you to grow, and who celebrate your wins. But remember, even the most supportive people can't make you believe in yourself if you're not willing to do the work. The belief has to come from you. Your dreams, goals, and aspirations all hinge on your ability to believe in yourself. It's the foundation upon which everything else is built. Without it, you'll hesitate, second guess, and hold back. But with it, you'll find the courage to take risks, to pursue your passions, and to create the life you want. Self-belief is a powerful force, one that can turn obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into comebacks. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. You owe it to yourself to cultivate it, to nurture it, and to let it propel you toward the greatness you're capable of achieving. Discipline is the backbone of transformation. It's the invisible force that separates those who dream from those who achieve. While motivation can spark the flame of your goals, discipline is what keeps that fire burning when motivation fades. And believe me, it will fade. Motivation is fleeting, it's tied to emotion, to how you feel in the moment. Some days you'll wake up energized and ready to tackle the world. But on other days, the excitement won't be there. That's when discipline steps in, keeping you moving forward, even when the path feels hard, tedious, or uninspiring. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about consistency. It's showing up every single day, regardless of how you feel, and putting in the work. It's committing to your goals even when it's inconvenient, even when you'd rather do something else, even when progress feels slow. It's not about doing everything perfectly, it's about doing what you said you would do, time and time again. And with every small act of discipline, you build momentum. That momentum creates habits, and those habits shape the person you become. One of the biggest misconceptions about discipline is that it's a trait you either have or don't have. But discipline is a skill, and like any skill, it can be developed. It starts with making small promises to yourself and keeping them. It could be as simple as getting out of bed at the time you said you would, or sticking to your workout routine, even when you're tired. Each time you follow through, you reinforce your trust in yourself. You prove that you're capable of doing hard things, and that builds confidence. Conversely, every time you break a promise to yourself, you chip away at that trust. That's why discipline is so powerful. It strengthens your relationship with yourself. Discipline isn't about suppressing your desires or denying yourself joy. It's about making choices that align with your long-term goals instead of giving in to short-term temptations. Yes, it's tempting to hit snooze, to skip the workout, to put off that hard task for another day. But every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're casting a vote for the person you want to become. Each choice matters, even the small ones, because they add up over time. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. The truth is, discipline requires sacrifice. It demands that you give up what's easy for what's meaningful. It asks you to prioritize what matters most over what feels good in the moment. And yes, that can be uncomfortable. But discomfort is the price of progress. Growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. It happens when you push yourself beyond it, when you do the hard things, the boring things, the things that most people won't do. That's where the magic happens. One of the keys to cultivating discipline is understanding your why. Why are you pursuing this goal? Why does it matter to you? When you have a clear and compelling reason for what you're doing, it becomes easier to stay disciplined. On the tough days when you're tempted to quit, your why will remind you of what's at stake. It will anchor you, giving you the strength to keep going even when it's hard. Discipline is not a punishment, it's a form of self-respect. It's a declaration that you believe in your potential enough to put in the work. It's recognizing that your future self depends on the choices you make today. And while the rewards of discipline aren't always immediate, they are always worth it. Over time, the effort you put in compounds, leading to results that might seem impossible from where you stand now. In the end, discipline is freedom. It frees you from the chaos of indecision, from the guilt of procrastination, and from the regret of wasted potential. It gives you control over your life, empowering you to shape your future instead of being at the mercy of circumstances. And while it's not always easy, it's always within your reach. Discipline is a choice you make every day, one action at a time. And each time you choose it, you bring yourself one step closer to the life you want. The past is a powerful force, but its grip on you is only as strong as you allow it to be. Too often, people become prisoners of their past, held captive by mistakes, regrets, and missed opportunities. They replay old failures in their minds, letting those memories shape how they see themselves and what they believe they can achieve. But here's the truth: your past does not define you unless you let it. What matters is not what happened before, but what you choose to do with your present. If you want to change your life, you must learn to let go of the past and focus on the only moment that truly matters right now. It's easy to fall into the trap of overthinking your past, analyzing every misstep, and wishing you had done things differently. But no amount of dwelling can change what has already happened. Regret is a heavy burden, one that slows you down and saps your energy. The time and mental space you spend reliving your past is time and space you could be using to create a better future. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting, it means releasing the hold those experiences have over you. It means taking the lessons they taught you and moving forward with clarity and purpose. One of the reasons people struggle to let go of the past is fear. Fear that if they don't hold on to those memories, they'll make the same mistakes again. Fear that if they let go, they're somehow betraying the person they were or the experiences that shaped them. But holding on to the past out of fear is like carrying a heavy bag of rocks on a journey. It weighs you down, slows your progress, and keeps you from fully experiencing the present. To move forward, you have to set that bag down and trust yourself to navigate the road ahead. Letting go is also about forgiveness, both for others and for yourself. Holding on to anger, resentment, or blame only chains you to the very thing you're trying to move past. Forgiveness isn't about condoning what happened, it's about freeing yourself from the emotional weight it carries. When you forgive, you take back your power. You stop letting the actions of others or your own mistakes dictate how you feel or what you believe you're capable of. You give yourself permission to heal and grow. Another barrier to letting go of the past is the comfort it provides. As strange as it sounds, there's a certain familiarity in holding on to old stories, even painful ones. They become part of your identity, shaping how you see yourself and your place in the world. But clinging to those stories keeps you stuck. It prevents you from writing a new narrative, one where you are no longer a victim of your past, but the author of your future. Letting go requires courage, the courage to step into the unknown and trust that what lies ahead is worth it. Your past is a chapter, not the whole book. It's a part of your story, but it doesn't have to be the story. Every day you have the opportunity to turn the page and start fresh. You have the power to choose how you respond to your past and what role it will play in your life moving forward. You can let it be a source of pain and limitation, or you can let it be a source of wisdom and growth. Letting go is not a one-time event, it's a process. Some days the past will creep back in, trying to reclaim its hold on you. But each time it does, you have the choice to acknowledge it and then refocus on the present. With practice, you'll find that its grip weakens and your ability to live fully in the moment strengthens. The present is where your power lies. It's where you can take action, make decisions, and create change. The more you focus on the here and now, the less room there is for the past to occupy. By letting go, You free yourself to pursue your dreams, to build the life you want, and to become the person you were always meant to be. Your surroundings have a profound influence on your life, often in ways you don't immediately recognize. The people you spend time with, the environments you immerse yourself in, and the information you consume all shape your mindset, habits, and ultimately your destiny. If you want to change your life, you need to evaluate and potentially change your environment. Surround yourself with positivity, inspiration, and support, and you'll find that growth becomes not just possible, but inevitable. The people in your life play a significant role in shaping who you are and who you become. Their words, actions, and attitudes influence your beliefs about yourself and the world. If you're constantly surrounded by negativity, people who doubt you, criticize you, or hold you back, it's like trying to run a race with weights tied to your ankles. Their energy seeps into your mindset, creating doubts and fears where confidence and optimism should thrive. Changing your life often starts with changing the company you keep. Seek out people who inspire you, challenge you to grow, and believe in your potential. Surround yourself with individuals who are driven, kind, and forward-thinking, and you'll find their energy is contagious. It's not just the people around you, the physical environment matters too. The spaces where you spend your time can either uplift you or drain you. A cluttered, chaotic environment can make your mind feel the same, disorganized and overwhelmed. On the other hand, a clean, organized, and inspiring space can foster creativity, focus, and peace. Pay attention to your surroundings. Are they aligned with the person you want to become? Create an environment that supports your goals, whether it's a workspace that fuels productivity or a home that provides comfort and serenity. What you feed your mind is just as important as what you feed your body. The information you consume, whether through books, podcasts, social media, or conversations, shapes your thoughts and beliefs. If you constantly consume negativity, fear, or gossip, that's what will dominate your mind. But if you fill your mind with knowledge, positivity, and ideas that challenge you to think bigger, you'll naturally start to align your actions with those higher thoughts. Be intentional about what you expose yourself to. Seek out content that inspires growth, teaches you something new, or motivates you to keep pushing forward. One of the hardest parts of changing your environment is letting go of what no longer serves you. This might mean distancing yourself from toxic relationships or walking away from places and habits that have become comfortable but stagnant. It's not easy, and it can be painful, especially if it involves people you care about. But growth often requires hard choices. You can't move forward if you're holding on to things that keep you tethered to the past. Letting go doesn't mean you're unkind or ungrateful. It means you value your future enough to make room for what will help you grow. Your environment also includes the habits and routines you build into your daily life. These habits act as the framework for your success. Positive habits create a stable, supportive environment within yourself. For example, starting your day with a routine that energizes you, whether it's exercise, meditation, or setting goals, sets the tone for productivity and positivity. Conversely, poor habits create an internal environment of chaos and limitation. If you want to change your life, look closely at your habits and ask whether they're moving you closer to or further from your goals. Finally, it's important to remember that you have the power to shape your environment. You are not a passive participant in your life, you are an active creator. You have the ability to choose where you spend your time, who you spend it with, and what you focus on. Changing your environment isn't always easy, and it might not happen overnight, but every small change you make adds up. With time, those changes will create an environment that supports your growth, aligns with your dreams, and helps you become the best version of yourself. If you want to change your life, the power lies within you. The decisions you make today shape the reality of tomorrow. The way you choose to perceive failure, the belief you have in yourself, the discipline you commit to, and the environment you cultivate, all of these are the building blocks of transformation. It's not about waiting for the perfect moment or hoping for things to magically align. It's about taking consistent action even when it's hard and moving forward with conviction, knowing that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to the person you want to become. Remember, your past does not have to dictate your future. The people you surround yourself with, the way you control your thoughts, and the choices you make each day all contribute to your success. The path to change isn't easy, but it is simple. It requires a relentless commitment to yourself and your goals. Keep pushing forward, embrace the lessons along the way, and trust that, with every effort, you're building the life you've always dreamed of. The power to change is in your hands, and the time to act is now. Take that first step and let nothing hold you back. The best version of yourself is waiting, and it's up to you to bring it to life. Thank you.